Evaluation Part 1. We used a 12A certificate that I adapted in Photoshop to say 60 seconds and the rating of the film. We did this because that way the trailer was suited for our target audience, which were all teenagers. This way the film would have gained the most profit possible, as the majority of all ages could watch it. The reason we chose the BBFC as classification for our film is because it's British and our film is a very British film, and it wouldn't seem right if the film was Americanised. Therefore, we are breaking conventions of the likes of James Bond. Next, we used our ident. I made this via Motion and imported it into Final Cut Pro. The text I used was called Timer. I used this because it conformed with our idea of time running out and with the title 60 seconds. We named our production company Triple H because the first letters of all our names begin with H. We made a logo for our ident. We came up with this idea midway through making the magazine cover. The reason we decided to add the logo was because we hadn't seen it on other trailers, therefore it seemed original and creative. This logo is attached to our production company because we are an action-based film production company. The next scene is of two pieces of footage that we have faded together to enable both pieces of footage to be seen. The first piece of footage that is over the top of the second is of a clock. We sped the footage up to give a feeling of time running out again. We wanted the ident and this scene that appears in the trailer 4 times to correlate, so that we followed a pattern throughout our whole project. The piece of footage that appears under the clock is the main character, with the camera panning up his body. We did this because it creates an air of mystery, and we as a group believed that would gain audiences' interest and attention, leading to more people wanting to view the film. Of all the action films we looked at, none of the trailers used this idea, therefore we believed it to be breaking conventions of action film trailers. The reason behind us wanting to be original is because originality gains attention. Many producers could make a fantastic film, but if their trailers all looked the same as one another, no one would be interested in going to view different films, because it would become boring. This shot fades into black. We did this to distinguish the footage of the camera panning up the body and the clips from which we would have taken from the action film to tease the audience. Then the teaser trailer starts to explain visually the story of the film, but does this in a way that it is subtle and does not give lots of the film away, because we're making a teaser trailer, not a standard trailer. In this scene, we find ourselves viewing a memory of the main character. This is quite a conventional aspect of our teaser trailer, though ours lasts longer than other memory trailer scenes. For example, James Bond teaser trailer, in which this teaser trailer quickly flashes a piece of footage in a contrasting colour, making this footage striking and something the viewer remembers. The reason we decided to make the memory in our teaser trailer dominant in a different way was so we could follow conventions but develop them and make them better. By having this scene at the beginning of the trailer, we are allowing the audience to know that it was a memory and in the past. Also, having the footage this length of time and very clear shows the audience that the two people being shown are extremely important to the plot line. The piece of footage fades to black, indicating that the scene is changing back to the piece of footage where the camera pans up the main character's body with the clock over the top of it. It also indicates that the memory stands alone and is slightly alienated, giving subtle hints to the film's plotline. The trailer then fades back to the shot of the camera panning up the main character's body, showing that time is still counting down and that it relates to the main character. This piece of footage of the clock has been manipulated, as has the shot before the memory scene. The way that I have done this is by putting a filter called light rays onto the footage. This makes the clock look slightly stretched and warped, indicating that the main characters push for time and that once the clock has stopped ticking down, something is going to happen, for instance the climax of the film. This shot is shorter than the one beforehand, creating pace to the film, which is highly conventional to an action film trailer, because the pace of the trailer is what helps to enhance the factor of excitement, otherwise everything would be too slow and boring. This shot then fades to black to indicate that more scenes of the film will be shown. This scene of the main character chasing the bad guy, it fades from black. Having a running action scene in a teaser trailer is something you will find in most of them because it adds pace to the film and a sense of direction. For example, running to the next scene, and showing that the people in the shot will have significance throughout the film. Again, this scene gives a subtle hint to the plotline, but leaves you also questioning things like, who are they? Why is a person from the other scene chasing the other person? What is this leading to? During this scene I used 2 shots. I did this to avoid the teaser trailer becoming boring and because the second shot reveals more facial characteristics, though the shot's over fast, therefore teasing the viewer. Again, this shot fades to black, indicating the change to the shot of the camera panning up the main character's body and the clock.